was on fire. Before you, I was throwing on the wire. But somehow you're taking me higher, higher. And I want you, and I need you, and I got you, and I'll never be happy without you. And I want you, and I goodbye to the guy I used to be, to the life I used to lead. Because now I see you're the only thing that matters to me. And the man I was before, he don't matter anymore. Because now I see you're the only thing that matters to me. Ooh, goodbye. Ooh, choir. Oh, it's over, baby. Stand in the choir, choir. And I want you, and I need you, and I got you, and I'll never be happy without you. And I want you, and I goodbye to the guy I used to be, to the life I used to lead. Because now I see you're the only thing that matters to me. And the man I was before, he don't matter anymore. Because now I see you're the only thing that matters to me. You're the only thing that matters to me. And I need you. I'll never be happy without you, baby. One more time. Goodbye to the guy I used to be, to the life I used to lead. Because now I see you're the only thing that matters to me. And the man I was before, oh, he don't matter anymore. Because now I see you're the only thing that matters. Goodbye. Ooh, goodbye. Goodbye.
We're glad you found us here at Retro Game Treasure. Founded in 2015, Retro Game Treasure is a monthly subscription service where you get real video games delivered right to your door. Inside our treasure chests, you'll get 3 to 5 retro video games every month. Every box is based around you and customized to your choices. Best of all, it is not a rental service. You get to keep all the games that we send you. Let's dive in and help explain how it works. Step 1. Select your plan and create your account. Step 2. Go to your game's preferences section of your account to get started. Step 3. Add your inventory. Here you can add all the games you already own. This way we can avoid duplicates and won't send you games you already have. Step 4. Managing your preferences. Here's where it gets fun. Click on Manage Preferences to access your game preference survey. Here you can tell us what level of collector you are, what genres and categories of games you like action, fighting games, racing, and more, your favorite types of themes like anime, fantasy, sci-fi, Pokemon, which consoles you want to receive games for, such as the NES, Game Boy Advance, Sega Genesis, and PlayStation. We carry games for over 20 different consoles, from the Atari all the way up to more modern ones. And in the bonus round, you can choose even more features like imports, mature games, light gun games, and more. You can even change all these settings from month to month to fine-tune your boxes or to just change it up. Whether you're starting or building your collection, Retro Game Treasure is a great way to expand your collection every month. Sign up and get started today at retrogametreasure.com.
Well, my delightful delinquents, it's good to see you. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the best video game goddamn show on the internet. This is gabbinandgames. I am Jaffe. It's nice to have you here. It's nice to see everybody today. Let me get some of our news up very quickly. But I wanted to say a couple of things first. If you are getting me on a loop, I was trying to fix my game streaming so it would look better. And I was tricking YouTube into thinking I was broadcasting on a 1440p monitor, but I don't have a 1440p. And so if you're watching it, you've set it, it does just point is set it to 1800, and I'm ordering a 1440p monitor for the weekend. So that should all be working very soon. But for now, just set it down. Okay. Welcome to the goddamn show. It's nice to see you. Retro Gaming Treasure is our wonderful sponsor. I do want to remind you, this is the first box that we got. Inside this box, they sent me 4 games that inspired God of War 2005, or that inspired us in the game design, right? And thus, these will be being played live on this very channel either tomorrow or Friday. We are going to play the following games, not to completion, but enough that you can understand why these were inspirational. Rygar from Bandai Namco, or actually Tecmo, The Legendary Adventures. The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers from EA. The horrible Godai Elemental Force from 3DO, and the wonderfully, delightfully underrated and beautiful Onimusha 3 Demon Siege. If you are interested in this service, and why would you not be if you love the video games? They go all the way back to the Atari and all the way up to, I think, the PS4 at this point. These are games that you keep. They're for your collection. They're physical. Go on over to the website. There is a link below, and it'll be running up through the chat as well. Check that shit out. It's good people. It's good people. It's a good service, and we'll be playing that stuff live this week. And you will be getting a pretty interesting take into some God of War design choices that you may not have heard before. Turn up the audio. Okay, let's turn up the audio a little bit. I can do that for you because I'm that kind of fella. I'm that kind of guy. You know what we're doing tonight, fellas? My birthday was the other day, but we were all very busy and we were tired. So the family's coming over tonight. We're going to order from the greatest Italian restaurant in San Diego called Filippi's Pizza Grotto. And then we're going to watch No One Except Me. Tell me if that audio is better. No one except me has seen the movie Inception. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to show the whole family Inception tonight. So I'm very excited to watch that with them. Silver Sky, I'm commissioning Cat's Clayations. That's excellent. The Lynx, who did the Bloodborne statue for me, the Art the Clown, she's wonderful. Her link is also going up the side there. All right, the volume's better. Excellent. So somebody in the chat, the present moment, wants to call in. I need to know why you want to call in. KP Projection says, read my super chat. I'll get to it, you stupid whore. Yeah, I got him. It says, Jaffe, start the show. Are you the one that has a business meeting you have to go to in like 10 minutes? Sorry. I do apologize, but you know, what are you going to do? I want to tell you something before we actually get started with the video game stuff. I was watching a video the other night with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he was talking about one of the phrases he said was, he says, you know, the smartest chimpanzee or gorilla, like the Stephen Hawking of chimpanzees would be to us like the dumbest, stupidest 2-year-old, right? That's even though our DNA is almost identical, it's like 99.x% identical. It's enough that their Stephen Hawking to us would be a barely functioning 2-year-old moron. Okay. And I thinking about this because I was thinking about if we wanted to keep ourselves hidden from aliens, or sorry, from chimps, if we did not want chimps to know we existed for whatever reason, it would be pretty fucking easy to hide that from the chimps, right? Because they're stupid compared to us. So this idea of the Fermi paradox, or the idea of why haven't we discovered aliens yet? Where are they? That you know, and we're taking that as gospel, like, oh, well, because of that, they must not be real, or they're, you know, it's not going to happen, or this, that, or the other. Maybe they're like, look, you're not ready to discover us yet. You're not wise enough, evolved enough. You may never be evolved enough. So when we send rovers and shit to Mars and we're like, nothing here, maybe they're just kind of like, dude, there's a lot of shit here, you fucking morons. You're just too stupid to see it because you can't shift the way you perceive the world. Perceive the world. Think about that. Think about that. The president says, Jaffe, I want to talk about deep shit. God, Artemis, the world state, which is just quick. I don't think this is the show for that. Why don't you call in tomorrow to Locale Crypt, put yourself a membership on the Discord over on that channel. But I mean, right now we're going to get into video games. Here's what I'll also tell you. Later in the week, tomorrow or Friday, we are going to do a call-in stream, and it's any topic you want. So we can also do that. We can do that then. But today we're going to stick mostly to video games, which is mostly what we talk about over on this channel. But if you are interested in my takes and discussions on things like aliens, pop culture, weird shit, that happens 5 days a week, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. California time over on Locale Crypt. Okay. Let us move on. Okay. Okay, yeah, the stream is only looping. Again, the reason the stream is looping is because you have it set for 1440. It needs to be 1080p or below. Okay. What's on the look? We've already kind of heard about this a little bit, but it's starting to look like we might hear about this God of War Cory Barlog game this month more and more and more. There was supposed to be a state of play tomorrow, but that has obviously not been announced. But this rumor is picking up traction. I've already kind of talked about it, but this is coming from Destructoid. The rumor mill is swirling loudly and quickly that a new God of War game is set to be announced very soon. On top of the already confirmed God of War trilogy remake of the Greek saga. Here's what they're saying now. According to MP First, it features Mayan, Chinese, and Japanese mythologies as part of the adventure, starring playable characters Freya, which is Atreus' mama and Kratos' dead wife, played by Deborah Ann Wall, and Tyr, the Norse god of war. Freya will wield a talking sword, which is cool, and have a gelatinous cube as a companion. That's weird. Needless to say, if true, it may be a big departure from the series' roots. It'd be great if that talking sword was AI, large language model. Kratos will make an appearance in the game, with other rumors stating there will be Egyptian-themed weaponry. This could end up being a globe-trotting experience. I'm mostly excited because it sounds like this is Barlog's new game, and I like Cory's stuff. I think he's really good. I don't particularly, I'm kind of over God of War. I'm kind of over, the current state of God of War, but, I'm certainly interested if Cory's doing it and Santa Monica's doing it. And of course I'll play it. But there you go. That's today's the first time we've heard about Deborah Ann Wall. We've heard about the main character being Freya, however you say her name. I have not heard about the gelatinous cube, and I have not heard about the talking sword. I love the talking sword idea. That's pretty fucking great. I mean, I guess they're going, well, we did it with Mimir's head. So now we need another device. Let's make it a sword, which I like though. I like the talking harp in Jack and the Beanstalk and all that shit. So I'm kind of down. Tyler says, I'm disappointed. I wanted a rock opera instead of this. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, man, I would give you a rock opera if I was making it. But I do think it's going to be an amazing game, really well-written story. I absolutely hope that, Corey lets up a little bit on the prestige TV kind of vibe that God of War has taken on in the last couple of iterations. I think having some pathos is great. It's necessary. But hopefully they'll kind of, chill a little bit and take us on a really fun adventure. And that is their, that's their big, that's their North Star before anything else. Okay. Yeah, I'm not saying God of War. Yeah, they did talking weapons and High on Life, says Poop Guy. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying they invented the idea, but I think it's a good idea. Dragon Quest, the new Dragon Quest, apparently is going to have a companion, whatever those things, slimes or whatever, those little blue things. And that is actually going to be a large language model talking companion, which I think is that's where we're going anyway. Like it, hate it, love it. That's where we're going. And I'm excited to check into all that. Now, here's the thing, my dear friends. Somebody says something in the chat real quick. Hang on. I'm over 2018 and Ragnarok, says V8 Warrior. I don't need to play those ever again. Yeah, I'm with you. Oh, Jordan says, are you excited for Cineacon this week? So Cineacon, if you don't know, is a big, I think it's yearly. I don't think it's twice a year, but it's definitely once a year at least, for theater owners. And they really bring out all the stops. They bring out all of the stars, the biggest stars, to get the theater owners excited. And this is where they see behind the scenes clips and trailers that we're not ready to see yet. We're ready, but they won't show us yet. There was some stuff on the Godzilla trailer, not the teaser that dropped yesterday, which looks great, but the trailer. They showed a new Tom Cruise movie that they say is going to get him an Oscar. They showed the new Ridley Scott film. There was some Marvel stuff. So yeah, I'm very excited about what I hear. And for me, movies, going to CinemaCon is probably like a lot of gamers wishing they could have gone to E3, right? Like E3 to me, by the end of my career as a developer, was just old hat. And I enjoyed it when it was in its heyday. But I know a lot of people kind of are like, oh my God, I would have loved to have gone to E3. I would love one day, because it's not for the public, I would love one day to get into CinemaCon and just watch all that shit, because I love movies. I adore movies. So I think that would be a lot of fun. Okay. Yeah, Clayface. Clayface from Batman 2. The footage from that. Absolutely. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. God of War now feels like an HBO show, says Present. I liked it when it felt like a 90s Sam Raimi movie. Yes, so did I. So did I, man. I don't think I can go gun. I have no way to get in. I don't know really anybody anymore in that business. So it's not about the money. It's about you can't just go online and buy a ticket, from what I understand. Kind of weird they didn't show any Legend of Zelda movie stuff. Is that movie, I don't think they're still shooting it, right? And what did they start shooting today? What did I see they were shooting today? Oh, this is just a me thing because I love it. They started shooting The White Lotus season 4 today. That TV series is being set. If you follow it, it's all these weird stories that happen at different White Lotus hotels. This year, they're doing it during the Cannes Film Festival as the setting. But they're also shooting Elden Ring. This is the first week of shooting Elden Ring, which looks great. Okay, they are done shooting that motion picture. You're saying Zelda's done shooting. Okay, then I don't know. Maybe it's just not ready to show yet. Resident Evil, they showed a trailer for, which sounded great, by the way. I think we talked about this the other day on the show, that the people who saw the trailer say the Resident Evil trailer is very much like, what's the movie? Is it called Cranked, or the movie with one of the early Jason Statham movies where he had to keep moving or he would die, and he had to keep his adrenaline like it was like Speed, but instead of a bus, it was with a human. Apparently, this guy goes into this building to do something, and it's just from beginning to end. They say it's like Fury Road in terms of just bang, 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 bang. It does not let up. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Well, PK, you got it a little bit wrong. He says they'll show it at Nintendo Direct, not at Cineacon. Cineacon is not like that. Cineacon doesn't exist for the public. Cineacon is for theater owners. So they're showing stuff to them that then for the public, like I'm sure a lot of the stuff that was shown at Cineacon last year ended up at Comic-Con this previous year. So the Marvel stuff they showed at Cineacon we'll probably see if you get into Hall H at Comic-Con this year. Okay, anyway, there you go. What we do know for sure, though, is that we have a June 16th, maybe, I forget the date, coming up for Microsoft and their showcase. There was an interview today, which I'm going to play a little clip of in a second, where Matty the Booty says, we know we're getting Gears of War E-Day coming up after the showcase, like right after. And in that, he said today that we're going to get 30 minutes of stuff just from the Gears of War E-Day Direct. So the Xbox Game Showcase will come before it. He said he's been watching all the trailers. It's very exciting to see what they're showing. And I wanted to play you just a little clip of this because not the stuff that we'll be seeing that either hasn't been announced or has been announced, but we haven't seen new stuff in a while, like Fable or this or that or the other. But I pose a question to you, my dear, delightful audience. The first question is, where's the super chats at? Where's the gifted members? Where's the memberships? This show lives and dies by your love, your donations, and your ducats and your hype for it. So let the world know, tell your friends, get yourself a subscription, become a member, and toss some ducats the way of Gabbin and Games so it can flourish and continue to bang the drum that the best goddamn gaming show is not the one where you watch a bunch of loudmouth fucking pundits. It's the one where you and me, the audience, talk about the great medium of video games together. Now, here's the point. I want to show you this. This is Matty Booty. Here's my question I posit. The question is this. A lot of gamers are upset with Microsoft. They don't like Microsoft. They're in third place, on and on and on and on. Thank you, Jonas. He's been a member for 34 months of the Diet Soda Soldiers, and you know I appreciate it. He says, ducats towards the J-Man. Thank you, buddy. You get some Diet Coke coming out of my anus. Thank you, sir. Here's the deal. So I get that a lot of people are sour on Microsoft. Fine. But you got to give these guys some props, right? Look at this. Just look at what Matt Booty's talking to this lady in the interview. Just watch, like, I don't know, 2 minutes of this and just look at the compared to Sony. And I get it. They've bought their way into this position. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. Some of you do. That's fine. But just look at the amount of content that Xbox pumps out. It's kind of fucking impressive. They're going to talk about it. Here we go.
It has been an eventful spring, to say the least. So much so that I actually need to consult my notes just to keep up with the sheer volume of it. So we've got Overwatch just launched Season 2. We already know who the new damage hero is, Sierra, the 6th new hero just added this year alone. Starfield just released a massive free lanes update for all platforms. One of the coolest things, obviously, being you can cruise between planets, but tons of other updates and ads and improvements in that massive update. Elder Scrolls Online launched Season 0, Dawn and Dusk. New zones, challenges, whole host of improvements there as well. Kiln is releasing next week. Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred releases shortly after one. That's a big new expansion with a new campaign, new classes, Paladin, Warlock. Shout out to Warlock, frankly. New region, and also you get Vessel of Hatred for free, actually, alongside that. And then, of course, we have tons of other things that I can't even remember.
I don't know. Yeah, that was impressive.
Thank you.
The only thing, as I'm going through the list, we've got Minecraft Dungeons 2.
Yeah, announced at Minecraft Live.
Which is noteworthy. I think it's the first sequel, the actual sequel that Minecraft has ever had. Minecraft has done a lot, but
this
I
is
don't know
momentous.
we've ever had a 2 attached to anything.
Oh my gosh, milestone.
And we've seen a lot of that come together, and it's looking really good.
Yeah, we're very busy teams here.
Yeah, yes.
And then, of course, Forza Horizon 6.
God, Forza, yeah, which is just looking amazing. I had a moment, like we got to see a cut of the trailer, some stuff that will, come out later.
Okay, and again, this is just spring. We're not talking about the summer that we'll see in June that they're announcing in the fall and the winter. This is just their spring lineup. And I understand in the chat, somebody says, yeah, it was Doug says, Jaffe, it took them 10 years to finally pump this out. Sure, I get it. But, Sony, look, this is not about Sony bad, Xbox good. It's just you got to at least give these guys some props and go, they are now pumping out the games. And look, I have been the biggest Matt Booty detractor since I learned there was a human walking the planet named Matt Booty. And then after that, I was also a detractor because he was the head of production. And I'm like, dude, how are you fucking up this bad? But, in my heart of hearts, I like to believe the reason Sarah Bond is gone and Phil Spencer is gone is not because Satya said, fuck you guys, and Matt Booty was a better political player who kept his job, but because perhaps everybody who worked there knew that it's like, could you guys get out of Matt's way and let him do what he can do? So wouldn't that be a great fantasy? And look, man, I want to see Herman Hulse get the shit out of Dodge, man. I want to see Sony get back to just cranking this shit out and making, all kinds of stuff. But right now, I think you got to give these guys props. And again, I don't want to play every single one of these fucking games because, but it's not about that. It's about the sheer volume of variety that you're getting. Somebody in the chat saying that Kiln is DOA. Gun says Kiln, which is from Double Fine next week. It may be DOA, but it looks really fun. It is a party game where you basically can craft things in a kiln and then they fucking fight like, Power Stone. I don't know what's not to love. I'll be playing it next week. You goddamn right. John says it's the buffet versus the steakhouse argument. Saros looks amazing. Xbox puts out a ton of games. I really only have a time for a small amount of game. Well, right. I mean, there is absolutely no doubt to what you're saying, which is if you're looking at it in the context of trailers or a show like this, where we talk about games at large, then I could absolutely agree with you that, or I would agree with me, which is holy cow, they're doing great. But you're not wrong. I think the biggest miscalculation of Game Pass, which I love and I loved and still love, is that it's not like Netflix because games take a lot of your fucking time. And even like right now, Dawn Rose came out yesterday. It so far it's gotten on its day 2. It's got 100,000 concurrent players. I played it on the stream yesterday. I played it today. I stayed up late last night playing it. Love that game. Love the demo at Next Fest. But now come tomorrow, I'm going to have to put that aside because I'm going to want to play Mouse and I'm going to want to play Pragmata. And I still want to go back to Crimson Desert, which I've barely scratched the surface of. But I'm the weirdo. I'm the odd man out on this because my current career, which is this, I need to be educated on pretty much all the big games that are coming out. But if I wasn't doing that, if I would have gotten Crimson Desert, that would be my game for the next 3 months. So, like Doug says, 99% of us have to pick and choose cream of the crop. Jaffe's an edge case. You're right. What I would love, man, I saw a service launch yesterday, which is, and I'm not interested in it, but it's like a subscription service, but for indie games only. But I just remember looking at it and going through their list, and I love indie games, but these weren't like the best. I'm good. I'll get my indie games on Steam and stuff. But I remember looking at it and just going, I wish there was just I want there to be 4-hour games. If somebody said, Jaffe, here's a subscription service of single player 4-hour games and we have 300 to launch, I would love that. Right? Because you could play like 4 or 5 games a week and finish them just like a movie. Like I'm sitting down with the family tonight. We're going to watch Christopher Nolan's Inception. They've never seen it. Unless, somebody has some kind of, allergic reaction to the pizza, we're going to finish the goddamn thing. And I get it. Not all games need to be short, but a lot of games need to be shorter than they fucking are, is what I would say. So anyway, though, I am excited to watch this with you guys coming up, the Microsoft Showcase. Gears of War, of course, I'm very excited about. And I will just say, I'm excited that, Microsoft is kind of, coming on strong now that they've got a lot of their teams putting stuff out. And I don't know, it's kind of fun to be excited about that. It's fun to see that. Now listen to this. I'm going to show you an amazing board game later in when the Internet Hobo stops by later in the show. Pragmata, I'll probably finish because I finished most single-player Capcom games. Not Dragon's Dogma, but, I finished Resident Evil 9 this week. Loved it. Very much looking forward to playing Pragmata. But here we go. These two games come out tomorrow. Officially, Mouse is out tomorrow and Pragmata is the next day. But in California, they both come out tomorrow, right? So you've got Mouse for Hire, which is sitting at an 81 Metacritic. This is a single-player game. This drops tomorrow, I think, on pretty much everything. I was very uninterested in this at first, only because I thought when IGN played their first 10 minutes of this game, I was like, it looks very boring, and it looks like one of those games that really gets by on its art style. But all of the reviews have said it is not that. There is a lot of variety. There's lots to do. It's well-tuned. There's tons of enemies. So I am very excited. I will be playing this on stream live tomorrow. But then tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, we have the next big Capcom game of what? Well, when was Resident Evil? Was Resident Evil 9 this year? Yeah, it was this year. We've got that. Pragmata coming out at an 86 on Metacritic. And this will be out tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So now, come the weekend, right? I'm going to have this. I'm going to have Mouse. I'm going to have Crimson Desert. I'm going to have, God, I hate the title of this pirate game. Dawn Rose, whatever the fuck it is. Great game. One of my favorite games so far of the year, but I hate the title because I always forget it. Did I watch Crowbar's newest video about RE4 Remake? I don't know who Crowbar is. I did see a tweet that was going around. Maybe that's from him, where he said that Resident Evil 4 is timeless and Resident Evil 4 Remake is a game of its time. I don't really know anything about that. I played and finished RE4, and I played and finished RE4 Remake, and I love them both. So anyway, though, but this is coming out tomorrow. If you haven't played the demo, it's available now on all systems. I thought it worked brilliantly. I love that this is a game that clearly started with mechanics, and then once they spent almost a decade finding the game, then they kind of actually said, okay, this actually works. Let's move forward. That's how it should be done. We talked about this the other day. And then they kind of wrote a story around it. Apparently the story is really, really good. Unless, of course, you are, somebody who spends a lot of your time over on Reddit, in which case you're probably seeing a lot of people talk about the lollification of Pragmata. I guess they shut down a lot of accounts over there, they closed threads and they closed entire subreddits over there. Because a lot of the creeps are out there going, let's take this clearly underaged human, or it's a robot, and do things with it in art that is not appropriate, to see, do, whatever. And so, it's interesting. I wonder when they were designing this game, because the whole lolly thing, if you don't know what the lolly thing is, and I'm sure if Morgan's here, she can explain it better, because she's into all the anime and shit. But my take on trying to explain what the lolly thing is it's basically pornography around characters that are designed to look underage, but the narratives of where they appear make it so it doesn't cross the line into something illegal, right? And so, certainly the term comes from the Japanese. They don't have an exclusive lock on horrible behavior towards children. What do you mean we're getting into this? Well, we're only getting into it, Surreal Bite. I'm not gonna show you anything, of course. I don't even know where to look except Reddit, but they closed. But it's interesting. Like, if you were to make a game because apparently one of the strong parts of Pragmata is the story. If you look at the early reviews that have come out, people say the story is really good and it's sweet and it's got a lot of heart to it. It's not just this cold sci-fi whatever. And I could see them going, look, the story works. Maybe the guy who's the astronaut you play, this is kind of cliche. I hope they don't do this because it's kind of, I had a comic book writer, Dan Jurgens, great wrote The Death of Superman, all this. He and I were talking once because I was looking for comic writers to work with me on God of War. And he said, my biggest advice I give writers is always throw away your first idea because the first idea tends to be the most cliche. And so to me, what I was going to say is the obvious idea is the astronaut or whoever it is you play in Pragmata had a kid, the kid's dead, and so they wanted to make the robot like a child robot so you could have this bond with it even though it's just a robot, blah, blah, blah. I hope it's more interesting than that. But apparently the story's great. But I just wonder, though, were they going, like, if we do this, you guys, this is going to stir up a little controversy. I don't think it's going to affect the title at all. But I think it's interesting that clearly it was enough to get a bunch of Reddit shit shut down. Awesome says, I think Pragmata will be excellent, but I'm slightly worried that the gameplay mechanics might get old doing it so many times. Yeah, I mean, that was my worry as well when I played the demo. But apparently that's not the case because the reviews, it's 86 review. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm going to put a poll up right now and see which game I want to see which ones you guys are going to play first. Start a poll. Which of the two do you want to play first? Pragmata. I'll put in neither. Mouse PI. Whoops. I'm not going to put neither. I'm going to put either or. If you don't, just don't vote because neither can be about. There you go. My guess is Pragmata is probably going to sell better. It is more expensive, and it's. But it's also it's not the world's most commercial idea. It's a great commercial idea for the PS1, PS2, PS3 era, but. I don't think, this isn't going to get the bro gamers, I think, any more than Saros that comes out, the next week or 2 weeks after? Super excited for Saros. I mean, what are we supposed to do? If you're the industry at this point, they need to have, like when the mafia's people sit down, the heads of the mafia, you meet in a warehouse someplace seedy and dangerous. You don't have to do that. That's just fun for me. To think about, but you guys need to sit down in the industry and go, guys, all we're doing is hurting each other. We're putting out too many games. They're too long. We're washing out left, right, and center because not because our games aren't good, but because what the fuck, guys? We can't expect the audience. The audience just isn't big enough to sustain this shit. Mouse PI is indie. There's no reason to assume it will go on there, says Morgan. Where? Like Game Pass or where? If I buy a full-price Capcom game, it's going to be RE9, not Pragmata, says Nugget. Yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, RE9's great. You can't go wrong with RE9. But you know how these corporations are. Who the fuck knows? They just laid off at Marvel. DC had 1,000 layoffs yesterday. Marvel just laid off their entire art department or visualization art department. I don't know if Andy Park of Sony Santa Monica, who worked on God of War 3 and other ones, was there at the time, if he got hit or not. Well, I don't know if he's still there. Charlie Wen, who designed the visual of Kratos and the Blades of Chaos of Kratos and a bunch of other things, was the art director on the early God of War games, led that and founded that department. But he's since gone on to run Fortnite over at Epic. So I know he didn't get hit. But they're basically saying now for new movies, Marvel movies, they have people there that are like producers, and then they're just going to outsource all the art. So, yeah, they got rid of their home entertainment team at Disney as well. It's brutal. It's fucking brutal. Okay, let's move on. One more thing I want to say, though. This was last week. I just want to say, though, I don't know. Ex-Bethesda exec says the Elder Scrolls 6 maker isn't part of something genuine or authentic at Microsoft. This is Pete Hines. Now, Pete Hines, who either retired or was let go, who the fuck knows, was the first time I realized I can't trust Microsoft. And I don't mean that like you can't trust any corporations. They owe you nothing except the products that they sell. But when I saw him on stage about 5 years ago or whenever it was, talking about how cool Redfall was, and he was going into the details, I'm like, this sounds great. He really sold it well. And then it comes out a couple of months later, and it was poo. And I'm like, so here's what I'll say to Pete Hines. I'm not saying he's wrong when he comes out and says all of this negative stuff now about Microsoft, but I'm like, dude, pardon me if I don't really take any of your opinions anymore. And this is the problem with towing the company line. It's like, I get it. You wanted the pat on the head from Microsoft. You wanted to keep your job, but you're no longer a trustworthy figure. Because fuck you. So now you're going to lay into Microsoft, the company that you were clearly, in my opinion, lying for, or certainly glazing for when it came to the games that you were promoting. And so I don't know. Maybe he's right. Maybe his whole take is that when Microsoft came in and bought Bethesda, it really kind of sucked something out of the company. But I'm like, yeah, but buddy, if you really felt that strongly and you want me to take you serious, then you would have walked out when you were on the stage and said, I can't do this. So, sorry. Nardo, I don't know what CRC is, but whether it's a penny or $1 billion treasure chest, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting the show, buddy. Where is CRC? What kind of world is that? What kind of world exists where that's the currency? CRC. All right. Listen to this, though. I do want to say this briefly. One more thing about Xbox, and we're going to move on. One more thing about Xbox. But could you just stop with, and you're not going to. If you are a tech aficionado, I love it. I appreciate it. You're into that. You're into the silicone, and you're into how this processor fires and causes this thing. I love that. That we couldn't have video games without people that love that. But if you're anybody else that talks about video games, please shut the fuck up and stop talking about Project Helix and what goes in it and path tracing and RTX 5090 NVIDIA and Zen 6 plus RDNA 5. Shut the fuck up. And here's why. Unless you're a real young person, and I have no young people watching this show. I think the youngest demographic doesn't go below like 16. So you were around for this. You were around for Xbox Series X versus PS5. Okay? How many YouTube videos got made? How many fucking podcasts got recorded that we had to fucking sit through or skip parts of it to get to the good stuff because these fucking chuckleheads were sitting around. Well, the teraflop this, and I think the Xbox will be more powerful than this. There's currently a thread over on NeoGAF that says, somebody says, I don't know, somebody in the know, that the Xbox Project Helix will be 20% more powerful than the PS6 or whatever. And I'm like, motherfuckers, who cares at this point? And I don't mean that like, if you love graphics, who cares? I love good graphics too on certain games. But my Xbox, with all of its teraflops and all of that shit and I'm not even fucking with you. When I say it's a doorstop, I'm not being metaphorical. It's sitting over there by the door, laying down. I haven't turned it on for about 2 years. It literally is up against the door, so Courage the dog can't butt his way in here when the washing machine is on, or the washing machine, the thing with clothes, which is down the hall, and it makes a lot of noise with the echo, right? That's how I'm using that. But a lot of people would say, like Morgan says, yes, Xbox is stronger and they get nothing out of it, right? Which means stop clicking on these people's videos. Stop caring about it. Stop talking about it. I mean, you can do what you want, of course. I support your fucking right to care about what you care about. But unless you're like an engineer-minded person, what a great world. What a great world if this generation we all made a commitment and said, let's keep up with the games. Let's put our focus on the games. Let's watch a trailer of whatever, the first games out of the chute for Helix. Let's, and really analyze what's different about this. What makes this more fun? What makes this interesting? Let's hold their feet to the fire when it comes to design and concepts and intellectual property. is what I would say. Because aren't you tired of this shit? I mean, maybe it's just me. We already know Pragmata is sitting at 66%. So most people are going to be buying Pragmata. 35% you guys are going to be getting Mouse. I'm going to put up another poll. I want to know this. Maybe this is just me. Are you sick to death of hearing about next-gen specs? Yes or no? Yes or no? That's what I want to know, because I think we have been burned by this discussion. It is of absolutely no value. I'm not rage baiting Gun. I'm literally asking, what value do you get? We were all told that the Xbox Series X was more powerful than the PS5. And maybe it is more valuable than the PS5. It didn't matter. No one's playing the goddamn Xbox Series X. So why are you giving this any of your energy? Nugget says, Jaffe, the biggest proponent of Game Pass, is using the Series X. Yeah, because I have it on my PC. I do use Game Pass, but I use it. Most of my Game Pass use now is through my PC that goes through my subscription to Game Pass into NVIDIA. That's why. Okay, Jaffe, who cares, as he brings it up multiple times, says Carlos. Yeah, because I don't understand it, Carlos, the Barlos. Turn the mic a little bit, turn it up or down. I don't understand it, right? I don't understand why, and maybe it's because graphics are easy to talk about because they're visuals and we have a language for that. And it's much harder to talk about game design or intellectual properties or whatever. Maybe that's what it is. But why do you care about this shit if it's not for the games? So why isn't that what we're talking about more? Whether it's the distribution model that makes the games better because maybe games can be shorter or cheaper, whether it's an interface that lets us engage with games in a different way, whether it's an intellectual property that's never really been turned into a game before and someone's got a cool idea. Akimbo says some people just like to discuss it. Whether you engage or not is up to you. I understand. I'm not saying I'm trying to pass a law to say you shouldn't discuss it. I'm asking why you like to discuss it when you have had time after time after time where it has been proven that it doesn't matter which box is more powerful, right? It makes no difference to the games in terms of what people buy, what you play, what is successful, what is a failure, right? That's why I'm asking, not because I care if you discuss it. At this point, all the upgrades are going to get us is better ray tracing, frames per second, or resolution. It's not like before when it literally changed. Yeah, you haven't had that since the PS1 came on the scene. The last real hardware, I mean, we might get something with large language model character NPCs this generation that would really change things. But short of that, the last real change I can think of has been that really has affected game design has been digital distribution and VR. And VR wasn't successful, but you can't argue if you play something like the Astrobot game that there are games that you could only do in VR. And that's, that's interesting. Jaffe, you ain't a tech guy in the first place. You would play a game at 30. Yes, I'm not a tech guy. But most of you are not tech guys. Most of you are here because you say you love video games. I'm not, if you love tech, go, that's cool. We need people who just love tech. But we're not talking about that. No one's trying to take that away from those people. All right, well, let's move on. The poll ends at 60% do want to hear about this shit, and 40% have absolutely, they're sick of it, they say. Are you sick to death of hearing? Oh, no, I'm wrong. Are you sick to death? I wrote stick to death, but you know what I mean. Are you sick to death of hearing about next-gen specs? 60% say yes, 40% say no. So, okay. All right, there you go. There you go. Jaffe, don't you want to know when the next gen will ship and the price? Sure. I'm interested to know when it will ship and the price, kind of. I don't care that much. But I don't need to know all this crap. I don't need to know, because then you're going to go, I mean, seriously. And again, maybe I'm just sour, as the kids say, because I have to compete with other podcasts and live streams where they've got like 800 people watching their fucking stupid shows, and all they're talking about is, well, wait a minute now, if they're using the 50/50 and that's 9 gig, they better have 4 fans in there. Otherwise, they're going to have a heat issue. PlayStation solves this, but it's like, shut the fuck up. Who gives a shit, man? They'll figure it out. Care about the games. That's what I say. That's what I say. Let's move the fuck on. Bloodborne movie was what I was put on this earth to do, says Jacksepticeye. I will fight this is so stupid. This is such a dumb thing they're doing. I will fight tooth and nail to make this thing the best it possibly can be from my standpoint. What a dumb statement that means nothing. I got nothing against Jacksepticeye at all. I've never met him. My kids liked him when they were growing up. I know he's a real passionate fan for Elden Ring or Bloodborne, as many of us are. And that's great. He's pivoting to help out with the movie, blah, 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 blah. But as I said on my live stream the other night, I think this is more of a let's get because you're telling me Septiceye was the best producer consultant because he's just more into Bloodborne than anyone else. Really? Or do you think it's more, does Occam Razor point to, it's more likely that he knew enough and that he thought it would, the Sony Productions thought it would get the gamers on board. And I'm like, I don't give a shit that Jacksepticeye is working on this. I don't give a shit that Alex Garland, who's directing Elden Ring, I care about that because of what he's done before. Because he's directed. Can I turn up my volume? You guys got to tell me. Anna G, are you here? I just turned it up a little bit more. Now again, he's not directing it. He's not writing it. He's not literally producing it like, he's going to be sitting there like a line producer going, let's make sure this actor shows up in this day with the right makeup. He's like a creative consultant that has a vanity producing title is what I gather. But I'm just saying that I think the reason it lands poorly for me is not that I have anything against Septiceye, but it's just like, if this guy, if Sony's like, you know what we really need for this? Let's get somebody who lives and breathes fucking Bloodborne. And Septiceye just happens to be the right pick, and he just happens to be really famous among the Gen Z kids. That's a little too much of a coincidence for me to go, that's why they're doing it. And then if that's not why they're doing it, then I go, are they really putting the movie first? Versus going, yeah, we need somebody in this role. Ideally, it would be the writer of the script, but it's probably not going to be this guy, because why would it be? That's a little rare. They're capitalizing, says Infinite, on the Markiplier Iron Lung buzz. It's cynical PR bullshit. Yeah, I think that's why I'm kind of turned off by it. When we're dealing with an Elden Ring that's in production right now from one of the great directors, like the great young directors of our time who did Deus Ex Machina and did Annihilation and did the brilliant TV series, miniseries Devs. When we are dealing with the guy who directed Barbarian and Weapons, who is now directing Resident Evil, that's where the bar is. And now I'm kind of looking at this and I'm going, what are you guys doing, PlayStation Productions? You guys went out and hired a B-level director to handle Zelda, and you put the guy who made the Maze Runner on it. I guess I've always been a big PlayStation Productions fan, but lately when it comes to Until Dawn, the Zelda hire, this decision, I'm starting to wonder if it's starting to feel a little bit more factory and a little bit less passionate. And so I'm worried because I love Bloodborne. I've said this before. Elden Ring is my favorite game of all time, but Bloodborne is my favorite intellectual property in video games. It is so interesting and rich and cool to take Charles Dickens and view it through a horror filter, and the way they did it and the monster design. Avi Arad is co-producing Zelda. That's another red fucking flag because he's terrible. Yeah, he has not been a relevant, meaningful producer since the very first Spider-Man, and that was all Raimi. Right, K-Nubs, by this logic, Rocker Matt should produce the next Twisted Metal. Right. TJ says, Jaffe, what's stopping you from starting Red Dead Redemption 2 right now? I'm just playing too many other things that I'm interested in, but it's on my list. I own it. I fucking own it. All right, let's move on. But there you go. Septiceye wants you to know that he was put on this earth to do this. And he'll fight. I mean, even the statement that he put out, I will fight tooth and nail to make this thing the best it possibly can be from my standpoint. Bitch, you have no power. And either you don't know you have no power over the movie, in which case you sound like a moron, which doesn't fill me with good vibes about this, or you're lying, in which case I don't have good vibes. Because really, they're going to hire a director, they're going to hire an actual producer that runs the day-to-day, and you're going to fight to... Wait, what is this note I just got? Says the director that the way the axe looks doesn't look good enough. Fuck that guy. You think we're going to lose? We're going to burn through 2 days sending it back to props? No, fuck him. Keep him off the set. That's how it works. That's how it works. And I don't have any beef with Jacksepticeye. I like the guy. From what I know, I don't know him. But I'm just saying that the whole thing just rings weird. Am I the only one for which this rings weird? I'm going to put this in a poll. Does the Septic Eye news on Bloodborne make you worried or excited? All right, here we go. There's worried, excited. All right, it's up now. Let me know what you think. I don't know if Miyazaki's involved. I have no idea. Why does the guy still get around Hollywood? Who are you talking about? You probably won't watch it anyway, Infinite. Oh, I love Bloodborne. I'm excited. I don't agree. That's ridiculous, Poop. Poop says, I wish they would stop trying to make video game movies. It's been pure failure across the board. What? The Mario movie's the Galaxy's the best money-making movie this year. The last Mario movie, the Sonic movies have done great. Markiplier's movie, the Iron Lung movie, did great. I think they've actually turned a corner when it comes to showing that a lot of, not all, but a lot of these can be very lucrative. I don't agree with you. They've been really successful. Okay, so right now 65% of you guys are worried about it, and hang on, where'd it go? There we go. Yeah, the quality's a mixed bag. That's fair. 35% are excited because Septiceye is involved. 65% are worried. Okay, well, let's move on and see what else we got going on in the world of video games. I have a question. They announced that Felicia Hardy, Black Cat is coming to Marvel Rivals. I gave up on Marvel Rivals, not because I didn't like it at all, but I was just kind of, it seemed like the kind of game that I enjoyed, but it was real hardcore, and it was one of those things where I'm like, I'm going to have to practice. I can't just have fun with it like I can in Call of Duty, even if I'm just kind of okay. But it kind of fell off my radar. But now I'm seeing so many changes coming to it that I just wanted to ask, is anybody in our audience still playing this game? And if they are, is it welcoming, do you think? Or do you think it's like, nah, it's pretty fucking hardcore at this point. And unless you really want to dedicate if you really want to dedicate a lot of time to it, you're not going to enjoy it. I would love to know that. Yeah, I love this. Frank Glass says, lots of polls today. We're going to need Steve Kornacki at the big board to break down the show. You goddamn right. Okay. It's a fantastic game for being free. Sure, I know it's a really well-made game. I'm not asking about the quality of it. I'm asking about the ability to jump in. Like, is it like if I were to jump into a fighting game, I would jump into Mortal Kombat, right? Because it's, it still can be hardcore and competitive, but it's not like if I'm going to jump into something like Street Fighter the latest Street Fighter, where you really got to practice to get to a point where you can really compete and enjoy it. I don't know if any of you guys are playing it, but so I wanted to ask because, not only am I seeing this, but I'm also seeing, one of the things I've loved about Marvel Rivals is the design of the characters. I think just the art design of these guys are great. And they announced, I think it's Hasbro. Where is it? Hasbro announced, I think I have it. Where did it go? That they're coming out with Marvel Rivals action figures. And they look really chunky and big. Here, is this it? No, let me see. Let's see. Maybe I can't. Maybe I don't have it right now. Okay, but we already talked about the Pragmata controversy. So let's look at Marvel Rival action figures. These are really neat looking. If YouTube got stuck in a loop, you need to set yourself to 10. Set yourself up to 10. What's it called? 1080p is what you should do. I want single-player versions of a lot of multiplayer-only games, says Hopkins. I'm with you when it comes to this game. And apparently they are going to be putting some more effort into that, actually. Making more, narrative single-player parts of this. But check out some of these figures. These are pretty great. I'm not going to show you all of them, but because there's like a huge gallery here. But look at these fucking Marvel figures. These are some of my favorite Marvel character designs, like alternate designs. They're just real chunky and cool looking, man. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll load it back up and try. Give it a try. Maybe I'll play it on a game night or something. The Marvel Rival toys look bulky like the He-Man toys, says Tyler. Yeah, no, I get it. And a lot of people like that. This is the only character I could play, and I love the look of the Punisher. The Punisher has been just a great character in this game for me. The other ones tend to be a little too complicated, and he looks great. Why do they keep putting him with Luna? There's the shark, Jeff the Shark. All right, anyway, it doesn't sound like any of you guys are really playing it much anymore, so maybe I'll just load it up and try it. Okay. You would like to see some statues of the Rivals costumes, Joker? Well, here's what I'll tell you. Sideshow Collectibles for the longest time, if you remember, they used to be a mainstay of San Diego Comic-Con, and it was beautiful. They would just and I would love these guys to put on like a museum show that travels because their statues, Sideshow Collectibles, do the most beautiful statues. They're back at Comic-Con this year, so I'm excited either virtually or in real life to see what they've got cooking because they do probably some of the most detailed statues. Although if you watched the show the other day and you saw that Bruce Wayne $2,000 figure, that was fucking me, and that wasn't Sideshow. That was some batshit crazy shit. What else do we got here? Hang on, I gotta show you this. Okay. I saw this, and I think I have my answer, but I want to see what you guys think about this. I want to see if we all agree or not. Somebody put this up on the internet and said, "Who created the greatest universe?" Jesus, who created the greatest universe? And here are your choices: Marvel, the Disney universe, the Harry Potter universe, the Lord of the Rings universe, Game of Thrones universe, the Dragon Ball universe, Star Trek, Star Wars, Pokemon, or Chronicles of Narnia. For me, I know what I would say, but I just want to see what you guys write in the chat because I want to see if I don't want to lead anybody. I don't want to lead the witness, but type in the chat which one of these you agree with. I get Looney Tunes, but that's not an option. It's not an option. Jaffe, apparently the new Mummy movie is good, but too much gore. You can never have too much gore. So I'm actually might go out and see that this weekend. All right. So any thoughts? Star Wars or Marvel, says Joker. George Lucas says Assassin. Dragon Ball says Protos. Poop Guy Stan Lee. Machismo JK Dragon Ball. JK Marvel Stan Lee. Pokemon. Lord of the Rings. Okay. So I guess the real question for me on this is, if you are looking at the greatest universe and you're looking at it like the best, like I would go with Marvel, right? But that's because like Chronicles of Narnia is great. Lord of the Rings is brilliant, but it's one thing, you know? I know you've got different characters. I guess it's the same. I guess it's the same because it's not like you couldn't tell an individual story about a Wraith Rider or a wizard in the Lord of the Rings world. But here's what I think it is. I think Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and Narnia and Harry Potter are all tied to a specific story. And it doesn't mean you can't tell other stories in that realm, but there's nothing really about those realms other that make me go, oh my God, there's so many things I would want to learn about in that realm, right? Whereas if you look at Marvel, because there's so many characters, it seems like you can have a story about Spider-Man, you know, that has nothing to do. There is no main Marvel story. It's just a universe, right? I think Star Trek is similar, but I think that's why Star Wars doesn't get up there for me either. Because Star Wars really, so far, has only worked for most people. I know some people love the books and stuff, but for most people, Star Wars works when it's the Skywalker story. And everything else is like, it's okay. It's kind of cool. Marvel is the one I think that does the most heavy lifting in terms of being expansive and being able to be lots of different beloved stories in that universe. And thus, I think it's a better universe. But I just wanted to see what you guys would say. It sounds like Marvel's certainly up there for a lot of you guys. Lord of the Rings is up there. Some of you guys like Goku. All right. Tyler, thank you for the happy poop for 10 jewels. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it very much. All right. Now, listen. When I was putting this stream together, Mandalorian and Grogu are getting their own movie. Yeah, hell, I'm not knocking it, man. I liked the Han Solo movie. I really did. A lot of people hated it. I fucking love the Han Solo movie, but I just, I don't think it does that well. I don't know if the Mandalorian Grogu is going to do that well, but looks like it could be a lot of fun. I like seeing the AT-ATs crawling on the side of the hill and stuff and falling off. It's awesome. But I'm putting this show together tonight, and I get a knock at the door. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm not used to seeing you so much. He says, but it's true. It's your friend of mine. He travels the highways and byways of the internet superhighway, putting all kinds of cool shit in his little bag to come share with us. These are stories on the internet that are worth sharing, even though they don't really have enough meat on the bone to talk about more in a couple of minutes. But he's your friend. He's my friend. He's the internet hobo, and he's come by to say hello.
Driving down the road, where you headed you just don't know, but in the distance you see insistence, his eyes are all aglow. You will stop, you will look, and why, you just don't know. But my friend, you've just encountered the internet hobo.
Who sings the song? It is his bag. He travels with a gelatinous cube and a singing bag. And that's who sings the song. The Internet Hobo is here. Let's see what he's got in his bag for us today, my friends. The Masters of the Universe popcorn bucket, he says, is the coolest piece of He-Man merch he has ever seen. And I think he's probably correct. Look at this goddamn thing. Look at this popcorn bucket. They showed this at Cineacon. It is Castle Grayskull, where you can put your drink in one of the towers, and the rest of the interior is a fucking popcorn bucket. That, I assume, is a drink? I don't know. Let's go back. Let's see it again. Okay, so this is the popcorn bucket. And that's the straw where you put your soda in, and the popcorn goes there. Come the fuck on. But now the question, though, is, and that's obviously a drink cup at the theater. That's a drink cup at the theater. But what is this? Is this sword? You put liquid in this? Look at this. Are you telling me that's a goddamn drink cup? That's a goddamn drink cup. Now, let me tell you something about this movie real quick. I was a kid that came up with movies like Krull, Clash the Titans. These are not good films. unless you're a little kid. I don't think this is going to be a good movie, but I'm going to see this goddamn day one because I'm looking forward to a motion picture that's just spent a lot of money on something that's probably not very good, but it's a lot of fucking, a lot of fucking fun imagination. I'll be getting one of these. Anyway, that looks pretty cool. How do you clean it? I don't know. Dishwasher, and if you have a sink that has one of those things you can pull out, you probably, I don't fucking know. Hey, a guy with glasses and a lab coat figures that out. Look at this. Speaking of amazing weird shit, it's not AI, it's real. I don't know what it is. Fuck you. It's this. That's thanks, hobo. But not to be outdone. Someone else says, hey, don't fucking come at me. I'm going to show you this. Elon Musk is a robot dog.
Do you speak? Oh my god. Wait. Why is it doing that? It keeps doing that.
Why is it waving at you?
Yes. Why
sure.
did it?
Maybe it likes you.
But it doesn't talk. I have some questions I'd like to ask him. It seems rather petulant. It would be hilarious if it stepped in the group right now.
That's some weird shit. Yeah, it's Pragmata footage. That's right. Thoughts on who they recast for Vigo in The Hunt from Gollum? I don't really know who he is. I saw a picture of him. I'm like, okay. It's not AI though, Crazed Assassin. That's a real robot making its way through town. Look at that. Krispy Kreme releases SpongeBob SquarePants collection, including a Krabby Patty donut. I'm not a SpongeBob guy because I was a little old by the time it came out. But I'll tell you that. These look like beautiful fucking donuts. I may go to Krispy Kreme. When are these coming out? Let's see. When Krispy Kreme is... hang on. Fans in North America have to catch a flight. Why don't we get it here? Why don't we? It's in the Philippines. Fuck you guys. Why don't we get this? I would totally go get this shit. Come on, man. Why don't we get this? Look how cool that is. Anyway, if you like your SpongeBob, maybe somebody can send it to you. Hey, BT Maverick. No, but you got a little Krabby Patty donut? Come on now. Look at that goddamn beautiful thing right there. Anyway, I'm impressed. I'm impressed by these delicious cakes, these delicious donuts. All right, moving on. I wanted to show you this. This is just somebody put up a picture that said GameStop in the 2000s versus 2020s. This is GameStop. I zoomed into it because I want to see if you can help me identify, because this is GameStop in the early 2000s, right? And in this, I zoomed in here. In this image here, you will see the Fantastic Four movie poster for the game. And that game was released. It says it's coming out on the 6th, but this actually was released on the same day as God of War. And God of War ended up just kicking the... not God of War. Fantastic Four ended up absolutely decimating us the first month in sales because it was a brand, and back then brand games sold, blah, 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 blah. But I was looking at this, and I just wanted to see, like, the Fantastic Four is here. Can you guys identify what some of these boxes are? Like, this looks like Jack 3 right here. Obviously, that's Fantastic Four. That's Madden. But the two I was really curious about, I was curious about this one up here. Like, there's three. Is that Ratchet and Clank? This one, and this one. Can you guys identify this? Hello, JSD. Thank you for the very generous super chat, as always. Very much appreciate that. Thank you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. There, B's old JSD. Thank you, sir. Why aren't you kids more like JSD? Am I right or am I right? The best goddamn video game show on the internet. JSD and a couple others are the only ones that seem to understand that this show needs to be monetized so we get to keep doing it. JSD made all of his money selling young, what do they call these things? The little, when you plant the Venus flytraps. He sells them all over the world. very successful at it. But he's the only, can only be, that's a very small market, and he's the king. He's the Venus flytrap king of Orlando. So I get it. He's Mr. Moneybags. But I want to say, let's go. Let's go. Let's bring the ducats in, boys. Okay, so SOCOM. Okay, I want to see if you can help me identify this. Maybe I should show it to... Now, AI probably wouldn't get it. What do you mean you can't see what I'm talking about? What do you mean you can't see what I'm talking about? You're not watching? What do you mean? You're kidding me, right? You are not able to look at the screen? Are you telling me I'm showing you the screen? Right. So this is the Batman game. This is the Fantastic Four game. I won't tell them the secrets, GSD, sorry. What is this game? Right here underneath the Fantastic Four. Right here. See where the little mouse is that I'm moving it around here? What is that? Right? I'll put it into AI and see if it can tell me. Well, yeah, the cases are blurry. I get it. But, I can tell this is a Madden game. Right? I can tell this is Batman. I can tell this is Devil May Cry and this is Jack 3. Just from the silhouettes and color. I know it's blurry. Of course it's blurry. That's why I'm having... If it wasn't blurry, I would know how to do it. I wouldn't need any help. That's Ratchet. There's Ratchet. That's a Ratchet game right there. I forget the name of that one. Right? But that's the one where he's holding the big gun, Well, is my mouse microscopic? I wish I could make it not. Okay, well, I don't know how to fix that. Let me see what I can do. Let me put something up on the screen real quick. Hang on. Hang on. Let me just grab a piece of art that I can put up there. Oh, I got it. Here you go. Is it this? Yeah. Okay, we'll take that. Copy. And we'll put it here. Paste. Okay. So now you can see it. Okay. So this is the Ratchet one right here. Hang on. This box that my head is on is Ratchet, right? This is the Fantastic Four box to launch. This is Jack 3. This is Batman. That's one of the EA football games. What I'm trying to figure out is this Final Fantasy? No. They didn't have Final Fantasy, right? In that era, right? They had not done a remake yet. So this one, what is that? Which one's Medal of Honor? You're saying the white one is Medal of Honor? Which one is Medal of Honor, Poop Guy? The white one under Fantastic Four? Or one of these up here? Thank you, Binth Gamer. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you, buddy, for the super chat. Medal of Honor, what are you blind? I don't know which one you're talking. Which one is Medal of Honor? Okay, you've got to tell me which one. You can't say yes. I don't know which one you're talking about. The white one is Medal of Honor. Okay, so that is, okay. Oh, okay, I got it. Like Allied Defense or something. Okay, fair. All right, well, that's good. We've solved a little bit of the mystery. I guess now the question is, does anybody know what this looks like? The God of War 2 box, but it's not, because God of War 1 wasn't even out. This is like 2005. Is that like a MotorStorm game, maybe? I don't think so. No, because that hadn't come out either. So if anybody knows what this one or this one is, I'd love to know. I think this is a Devil May Cry game right here. European Assault is the white one. Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, that's one of my questions. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move forward, shall we? You like the movie Pulp Fiction? That's not a problem. NES version. Thank you, Tyler, for the happy poop. I appreciate it, buddy. Hey, thank you, JSD, sending 5 Big Bad gift memberships. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you so much for continuing to support this fine TV program. Thank you, bud. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, JSD. How much for interviews? What do you mean, heroic? I'd rather have Inglourious Bastards. Oh no, that's great. That's so great. Oh. That's cool. I turned it down. Tell me if it's better. Is this a real Pulp Fiction game? No. There's the GIMP. Play the shit out of this, though. This is awesome. But I was saying I'd rather play an Inglourious Bastards if you're going to make a Tarantino NES game. Isn't that cool? That's pretty fucking cool, man. I like that. All right. Thank you, Internet Hobo, for that. We appreciate it. What else do we got lined up here? The last thing on the Internet Hobo's list. No, there's 2 more things he brought to us today. One is this. There is a Godzilla store. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. Godzilla store walkthrough in Osaka. Look at this. Did you guys see the new teaser for the new Godzilla movie where he comes to New York? Pretty fucking cool. Pretty fucking cool. Check this out. I'll just show you some of the most watched parts of this real quick, then we'll move on. A whole store dedicated to Godzilla. I'll tell you, as a young kid, I would have lost my shit. I'm losing it now. I love Godzilla. My shower curtain is Godzilla. Okay, and look at this. Let's go to the next, this part. These we've seen. There's nothing special about this, but it's very cool. I love that there's a whole store for Gojira. Yeah, I'm behind on Godzilla 2 JSD, but I mean, you know, what are you going to do? It's not like you're like, I don't know what's going on. Well, it's Godzilla, see? And he's attacking, see? And then the most watched part is this right here, which is understandable. Just the really nice, big, detailed Gojira statues. We're doing call-ins tomorrow or Friday on Talk Studio. Free chat call-ins will be tomorrow or Friday, depending on when we do Retro Game Treasure gameplay. Come on now. How can you not love the Gojira? He's the shit. He's the shit. All right, there you go. So, that's in Osaka if you ever make your way to Japan. The last thing I want to show you, from the Internet Hobo anyway, I have something else lined up after, but the last thing I want to show you, my brother Eternal said Monarch was really good. I want to see that as well. The last thing I want to show you as it relates to the Internet Hobo, I told you guys I was going to show you a board game. This is pretty fucking cool. This is pretty fucking cool. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen this guy. He does a lot of traveling and eating food and throwing his glasses on Instagram, but he also does cool sci-fi geek things on Twitter. I forget what they call them. It's not Cloud. It's something Stallion. But this is a chessboard that plays itself. Watch this.
I found it. It's a self-moving chessboard. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's the chessboard. Okay, we have the board set up. Oh my goodness, wait, what? Hold on. So if I move this piece. Oh my goodness. I move this piece here.
So cool.
Hold on. You could also reset the board. Hold on. Oh my goodness. I do not know how to play chess, but I'm going to learn by tomorrow.
Yeah. So, and before you ask, because that was my first question is, yeah, but how does the knight move? And if you know chess, the way the knight moves is he'll jump over pieces he can hop over pieces. And they said the way the knight works and some of the other pieces is it's like the parting of the Red Sea. So it'll move the knight where it goes. It'll move all the other pieces out of the way, and then they'll slide back into place. I've heard of digital chess, you son of a bitch. That's not the point. This is just, it's real. Like, that's so cool. I wish they had other board games that you could play with, like, the AI, but it moved the pieces around. I think that's neat. All right. Anyway, listen, the Internet Hobo says thank you for indulging him. Here's what we're going to do. I have one more segment I want to share with you, my delightful friends. And then after that segment, if there's time, sounds like there's a few people who want to call. If you want to put yourself into our Discord, then I will bring you on. Let me just get this set up so I can get this other segment going. And then afterwards, if there's time, yeah, I'll bring you on and we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, baby. Come on now. I got your back. Your Papa Jaffe's got your back, baby. What are you talking about? Where's that screen, though, man? Hang on. Sorry, fellas. I'm just looking for the... Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, is it on this window? Here we go, my friends. This is a new segment of the show. And if you do want to call into the show, though, it'll be easier to do on tomorrow or Friday's show, because that's where I set up. We'll do free chat call-ins on Thursday or Friday. Come on now, JSD. Come on now, JSD. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, JSD, for that very generous, another generous piece of love thrown our way by the man, the myth, the legend. In fact, he's given 10 gifted members, and we appreciate that, buddy. I am going to dedicate this next segment to our very generous and necessary these days, because we got to keep the show going, baby. JSD, this next segment goes out to JSD. This is for you, my friend. Here we go. Maybe.
Ain't nothing better than coming soon, especially when you're drinking that shiny moon, getting kind of dizzy, sleeping till noon, then you wake up and you watch video game trailers. Video game trailers, don't you be watching these rotten Terminators? The best place to see what you'll be playing is to watch it right here where you'll be staying. Get it? Do you guys darn get it? See, you live in a trailer like me, and these are also called trailers. Same word.
All right,
It's the
folks.
same damn word.
It is the time for video game trailers. I want to show you some of the good trailers that have dropped this weekend. Let us begin right now. First, I want to show you, I'm not going to show you too many, but I'll show you a couple of them. This one is out now. The demo is available now. You may not be into this kind of game, but I absolutely love games like Desperados 3 and Shadow Gambit. Here you go. Here you go, my dear friends. Watch this trailer. Demo's out now on Steam. Look at these punks. Love games like this. Tactical action games. I'll play the demo this week, let you know what I think. Here's a trailer. I love politics. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but President Simulator. Sadly, that's how it works these days. Interesting. Interesting. No, Sony had a game. Sony had a game that was big head Power Stone fighting with political figures, and it got to alpha, and it was fun. And then Kaz Hirai saw it for the first time. You'd think he would have known about it, and he's like, "Yeah, we're canceling that." It was through Sony Santa Monica. We were making it with an external developer. You're asking what is the Mad Max game I played some time ago, Sinestra? I don't know. I mean, I need a little more, give me some more specifics, and I'll let you know. What else? Here's one last summer. Let's take a look at that. Your boy Asman played this, says JSD. Oh, I can't stand that guy. He played the President game. Is it out yet? I didn't know it was out yet. Are you sure that's the one he played? Oh, you're thinking of Trump Simulator. Oh, okay. At least you are, not JSD, K-Nubs. All right, here's last summer. Let's check it out. Am I going to play Replace? Probably yes. Played the demo and I liked it. Cool. I hope it's not some asynchronous horror thing. I hope it's a single player game. Players will either step into the shoes of a killer or oh, come on, man. Stop with the async horror. It's over. It's boring. What is this? One State. No, it's GTA. Winrose. Blighton. What looks good, boys? What looks good? What do we got? What do we got that's new? Last Flag, already, it's old. Airport Contraband. You know what Tech was telling me about? He was saying there was a multiplayer game where one guy plays a terrorist and other people play TSA agents, and you try to stop them from getting into the goddamn airport. That could be cool. Blood Mall. Well, let's watch this. This looks good.
Okay, get your ass in there and take that fucker down.
Show me the gameplay. It's a dinosaur game where you fight dinosaurs in a mall. Come on now. Come on now. I want this. I love games like this so much, if they're good. There you go. Blood Mall retaped. All right, Wishlist now comes out this month. See, you can't lose with indie games. All right, let me see if which game sucks, JSD. Let me see if anyone. Some people said they were in the Discord. If anyone's in the Discord, I'll bring you in. Hang on a second. Let's see. If anybody wants to call in real quick, tomorrow or the next day will be a call-in show. Like I said, we will be doing the inspired games, games that inspired God of War 1 design from Retro Game Treasure, our sponsor. I would love for you guys to click on the link up and down the chat as well as down in the About This video. Let them know that they are spending their money well by coming to this show and saying, we think Jaffe's audience is the audience for what we do, which is put out this very fine product, which is 3 to 5 retro games every single month that they handpick based on your likes, dislikes, what you own, what you don't, come right to your door. You own them. And it's all about building a retro game collection that is totally picked just for you. In this case, God of War inspiring games. Rygar, I'll tell you why they inspired us, but Rygar is on the list, not for the reason you think. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Onimusha 3, all these are brilliant, and then this game is terrible. Godai, Elemental Force, is also, and we'll go through these tomorrow or Friday, playing them on the original PS2, and talk about why they were so inspiring for the original God of War design in 2005. But in the meantime, I don't see anybody in the Discord, so when we're not doing that, we will be doing the call-in show tomorrow or Friday, where it'll be much easier to call in. You don't need to be in the Discord, and we'll kind of talk video games and whatever the fuck you guys want to talk about. But that is today's show. I want to say thank you to Anna. I want to say thank you, of course, to JSD for supporting us and keeping us on the air. Top fans of the day, my friends. Number 10, V8 Warrior. This is based on super chats and just general chatting. Number 9, Awesome Tatum. Number 8, Tyler, with all of his golden poops and the donations. Number 7, KP Projections. Number 6, Carlos. Number 5, Nardo. Number 4, Ben the Gamer. Number 3, Lolcow Illuminati. Number 2, the man with the freaky fucking fingers, K-Nubs. And sitting once again at the top of the charts, the man, the myth, the legend, the Venus Flytrap King of Orlando, JSD. Anna G, thank you so much for modding our show, keeping us on the rails. And that's what we got, boys. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. That's wrong, 9 a.m. California time for Lolcow Crypt, where we talk about aliens and pop culture and any and everything under the sun over on the Lolcow Universe Network. And then I'll be back tomorrow around between 4 and 5. We'll launch the episode, which will either be this very show, another Gabbin and Games that will be call-ins, or playing the games that inspired God of War. That's the show. You guys are great. Thank you so much. And look at that, JSD coming in at the end again. Again, he's in the Venus Flytrap business, boys, and the Venus Flytrap business is good. Thank you, buddy, for that. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Be well, you guys, and don't forget to give JSD a kiss on his nether regions on the way out the door. Drive safe getting home. I'll see you soon. Bye.